Soul Garden.
Hello my archers, and welcome back to Soul Horoscope's weekly update. From my webcam to yours, I'm Christopher Witecki, your host to the universe. And we have 1 week left for my amazing special. If you buy 1 hour, you get 30 minutes free right now. That's a Skype reading that is MP3 recorded and emailed to you. Perfect for a first-time reading. Buy yourself an early birthday present. Hurry up while Witecki supplies are available, or last. That's what I was trying to say, but I'm tripping over my tongue. Hello my archers, and welcome back. So good to see you, the masters of belief structure. The sun has moved into Virgo and out of Leo, and over the weekend we had our first breakdown, a reality breakdown. Now for the Sages, this is a good reality. I think this will be an easier transit than usual because frankly it's time to edit and step up when it comes to career decisions. Because Sages are so flighty everywhere, I mean everywhere in your life is an adventure that can change any moment. There's only one thing that doesn't change very easily, and that's your career trajectory. You take that very Virgo seriously. And in this first stage, you're really looking at the criteria in which you make decisions. You are editing the I decide state of awareness, which is what Virgo is for you. Virgo conscious is what you take to decide things, which is why you have this horrible reputation of being non-committal. It's not that you're non-committal, it just takes frickin' forever. So we are working on the IB, Virgo. The sun is in Virgo. IB, which emanates out of the heart chakra, if you don't know, just like I love. So in other words, a heart chakra to a Sagittarius is what you believe and where you're going. All right, and ultimately, we are in the first stage, which is the live stage. That's the 3 stages of Virgo, live, love, be. In the live stage, you're focusing on, again, what that criteria is for making decisions. And that's what we're going to wrap up this week is your decision-making criteria at large. What should go into a decision-making policy for you, which will help you set policy for everything. This will turn into career later in the transit, and by the B stage, this is the legacy, which is what you want to leave behind on planet Earth, so to speak. So on Monday, it is cloudy, but you are value-driven. The moon is in Capricorn, so emotions are focused on your soul capital. It's a good manifestation day on Monday. Now on Sunday, you might have had a breakdown in some of your career plans, or a decision might have fallen apart, or you might have been stuck in a decision. That was Uranus ruling on Sunday. So Monday is a breakthrough day, a day to process, and you're using your values or your emotions around your values to help you process. But we are in a stalemate. We have a double square on Monday, triggered when the moon will oppose Venus. That opposition is a tug-of-war in you between your values and your boundaries. Now you're trying to open up to new things with Venus in Cancer, but fears around what that could do today might hold you up, and you're finding balance between opening up and owning that you can do it, owning the confidence, owning the soul capital. At the tip of those fears, or intersecting or dissecting into those fears, is the Saturn Libra issue, which is a big deal. It is time, by the end of this week, if you watched your Act 3 video, it is time to commit to your overall place in society, how you see yourself in the context of the world. These are friendship decisions. These are decisions of how you label yourself, and everyone does need some label at some point in order for people to find them on the internet, a keyword if nothing else, but it is time to kind of sew that up this week. So fears of who you don't want to be or what you don't want to do wrong in the world also clog up your feelings of value and boundaries on Monday. On Tuesday, it does kind of sunny up a bit, sunny and chatty for the Sagittarians. Venus rules the day, hoping to restore balance and order to career issues or career decisions or bad decisions or good decisions, but restoring order and peace. It's a good time to go, apologize to a coworker if you blew up on someone or if you flaked. Sagittarius usually don't blow up, they flake. That's what they do, they'll flake on you. But there's also a Yod, which is a finger from God, really pointing right to your career with the sun at 6 degrees in Virgo. So this Yod is saying this: take your feelings with the moon now in Aquarius. So take your attitude, take your thoughts, take your passion, okay? Take your inner child, and between your ideas and your inner child, boom, that's where you head in your career. That's what restores balance and order. Your feelings and ideas and your inner child, what your heart wants. And that's what the Yod is saying on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's a Neptune ruled day, so we get cloudy. Cloudy and brain breezy is how I put it for the Sagittarians. The sun, ruled by Neptune, logs us into our higher self. This is a time to intuit. in your case, you are feeling around your decisions, you are feeling around in the dark in your career, trying to feel around where things should go next and what you should do next. There's quite a complex grid of energy going on with the planets that I do believe is leading us to what we need to lead to. This is a profound example of kind of how the planets really work in synergy as we are moving towards major destinations, which is what the end of this week is. It starts with the Pluto in Capricorn. Step one, I'll translate this for you. You're usually the translator, that's why that's a joke. I'm translating for the Sages. Pluto says, retrograde. Pluto retrograde 7 degrees in Capricorn says, all right, Sagittarius, you must reconsider why you value yourself. You've got to keep that on a spinning rotation. So you are on sale until further notice. You are always changing boundaries and having to stay fluid with boundaries, which does mean that finances will not stabilize just yet at this time. You must accept that finances will not stabilize just yet at this time. You need rotating finances in order to stay open-minded with where you're going with your career. Sun, Neptune ruled there in Virgo. Now, once you have an open mind, this will allow you to Mars take action, drawing certain boundaries, and those boundaries are inner faith boundaries. So in a way, you're drawing a line in some sort of an inner sand where you know you're going to have to jump soon, and so that inner faith leads to the ability to jump. When you're ready to jump, well, Mars is going to speak directly to Neptune and Pisces, which is going to make you feel grounded, secure, and taken care of. So this whole map, and you can watch this again because I want to keep the videos not so long, really leads you and guides you on this intuitive path if you do the meditations on this day and follow through. On Thursday, it's a decision day. It's time to make decisions about decisions. So what are the important criteria behind decisions? And if you haven't figured it out yet by Thursday, you should only be deciding based on love. If the heart is on board, it's a good decision. If the heart's not on board, it's a bad decision. Repeat and rinse. That's basically what Saturn says. But the moon moves full into Pisces, so you are nesting and resting on this day. Your emotions are seeking ground. And really on this day, we're wrapping up yesterday's little path that we had, right? It starts over there with the sun. The sun at 8 degrees and ruled by Saturn is saying, okay, it's time to decide what the criteria are in our decision making, and in a longer sense, it's time to decide what we don't want in our career. Process of elimination. Let's get rid of what we don't want in our career. This will empower us to draw that line in our inner faith, Mars at 4 degrees in Scorpio, draw the line in the inner faith so we can really begin to jump. And this will channel our emotions to the moon crossing Neptune and Chiron on this day. Check this out. Now, the moon moves into Pisces, which is pulling you into a nesting and resting transit, but as it crosses over Neptune, your intuition allows for you to give and receive from God. That's what Neptune does. And so the synergy energy of Neptune pulls your emotions in. If you follow that little dynamic path I gave you before this, on the slide before this, I do believe this will be a healing. You will have peace. You will feel grounded. You will be able to release. And this groundedness not just makes you feel good now, but heads straight for Chiron. And heading for Chiron, that's a common asteroid that rules Virgo, that literally allows you to erase karma, I believe, and heal not just this moment now, but lifetime of energy. So as you can see, the universe is really working with us here we go. The universe is really working with us in this profound week, not just to point your life toward where you belong in society and to point your life in how you label yourself in context, and that is a lifetime change, but also erasing some negative karma with how you were raised and your old feelings of insecurity and how you feel security. But remember, you must be willing to have a rotating finance wheel right now with Pluto retrograde. Then comes Friday, and it's full moon Friday, a pretty crazy full moon actually. Mars rules a day that amps it up. It's going to be an aggressive, dangerous full moon. Now the moon is full in Pisces. To some degree it is dangerous for you in particular, Sagittarius. That's because at rest or at disrest is your overall emotional well-being. And whereas I just talked about you getting a lifetime healing and some release with your sense of security, the full moon immediately tests that security and asks you to really put your money where your mouth is. So it's thunder with a chance of storms depending on how you respond. Now, full moon is of course in opposition. We're stuck in the center with the earth there, the moon pulling on you to feel more secure, the sun pulling on you to get your ass moving with your career. and that's really the tug of war going on inside of you. It's kind of a, you need to kind of do both. It's paradoxical. On the one hand, to get your butt moving, you have to be nurtured and well taken care of. But then again, once you get your butt moving, you'll feel better and more nurtured and well taken care of. So notice Mercury is 0 degrees. That means we are mindless on this particular journey, and that's really the point. You're not supposed to think, you're supposed to do, and you're supposed to feel, at least according to these planets. Now this little trine between the moon and Venus means that as soon as you feel secure, immediately you will understand how to open up, change your boundaries, and feel more trusting in life at large. So it leads to immediate trust if you do the soul work. On Saturday, we squat and hold space, partly sunny and relaxed for the archers. The moon is still nesting in Pisces for most of the day, causing you to nest, rest, and ground your emotions. It's still sunny though, and as far as where you're going with career, you want to squat. That's what holding space is. This is the I manifest day. This is a day technically sub-ruled by Taurus. So what you're doing is you're squatting on this new career path, or at least this new career isn't. Whatever you came up with the isn'ts. So you're squatting on the isn'ts, and you're squatting on what is or what you know so far. And we're also doing some major planetary shifting. Now if you roll back to your Act 3 videos, kids, this is one of the quintessential weekends. This weekend is a weekend you must decide where you feel like you belong in society. Now the decision is private, the decision is a necessary ingredient. Perhaps you're already ready to decide, but either way, as you'll see in a couple of minutes with these slides, immediately it goes into action. This is what I was saying when fate moves quickly in certain periods of history and small decisions lead to big change. These planets outline it for you. First, there is of course the major decision that I've talked about of where do you belong in the world? And you belong wherever your heart vibrates, if you haven't figured it out by now. Mars right there in Scorpio, drawing lines in your inner faith. As you decide, you draw lines. That energy channels where? Straight to Neptune, giving you a sense of security. So right away, you know, if you're skipping these lessons and letting these planets go by, you're not building that new Neptune sense of security. You're setting yourself up for some crap for the next decade, all right? Not easy stuff. Take advantage while you can. At the same time, this square, which is a red line between Jupiter and the Sun, says that although all these other parts of yourself are fixing, forget your relationships and marriages right now. You will not get to the end of that rainbow or understanding just now. You can't handle too much change at once, and so there will be fears between the new career path and how it affects your long-term partnerships and that sort of thing. And then of course the moon is still trining Venus in Cancer, so all the while as you feel secure, you find that you are more flexible in boundaries and trust, and you have greater trust in yourself. So it's a pretty powerful and profound Saturday with all the stuff going on, and you want to be very clear about where you belong. Then on Sunday, it's IB Me Day. IB Me Day is the day of synergy energy. That's because it is 11 degrees Virgo. 11 is the healing number. Virgo is the healing sign. And so it's like 1111 in a weird cosmic, numerological, astrological way. And because the moon is in Aries, you are sunny and super childlike. So your emotions are starting to feel perhaps the joy of the new career or the new commitment or the new legacy, perhaps the excitement of it. But God also gave us another yod. This time the yod points down toward your inner child. And what it says is, as you begin to draw lines and split your inner faith with Mars and Scorpio, as you feel the synergy energy of the right legacy direction, this enables your heart to open further. And as the moon crosses Uranus, you have an option to respond differently on the inside. In other words, maybe in the old days when you got excited, part of you said, oh, let's not get excited. But today with the moon crossing Uranus, maybe you'll let yourself get excited. By the way, the more excited you let yourself get, the faster your wishes come. So if that was your policy, thank Goddess, you have learned. All right, Archers, that's all I have for this 13-minute episode, but I'll see you in 7 days when your life is onto a new course. Until then, live, love, be.